The man never expected that every time he dreamed, he'd be transported to a different world, hunted by countless monsters. Just in time, a girl pulled him into the woods, saving him from the swarm of creatures outside. Seeing Jason's panic, Emmy laughed. Jason lied, claiming he was hiding his true power. To his surprise, Emmy actually believed him. In that moment, Jason was deeply drawn to the naive Emmy. But before he could confess his feelings, he was abruptly pulled back to the real world. A massive truck appeared out of nowhere, knocking Jason off a cliff. When he woke up again, Emmy was standing before him. Jason eagerly greeted her, but Emmy had no memory of him. Startled by this stranger falling from the sky, Emmy stumbled back in fear. Just as Jason tried to explain, a rat fell on his head, making him accidentally lunge into Emmy's chest. Despicable, Emmy thought, convinced it was intentional. Thankfully, a rope suddenly appeared, tying Jason tightly. Then an alarm blared, the sky nearby shattered, and black mist poured from the void. As Jason tried to escape, he realized he was trapped in a barrier. Wherever the mist touched, humans turned to stone. It felt like the end of the world. Suddenly, a figure descended from above. Jason stared. It was a giant monster. The beast attacked Jason. Just as all hope seemed lost, a humanoid mech smashed the monster away with a hammer. The mech was astonished to find Jason unpetrified. This had never happened before. It ordered Jason to stay still, but of course, he ignored the warning. In the distance, the monster had regained its bearings. Their first priority was to eliminate the threat. Once the enemy was destroyed, the barrier began to dissipate. Meanwhile, the medical team rushed in to treat the wounded. As familiar voices approached, the two operators of the mech emerged, blaming Jason. He retorted that he'd planned to punch the monster himself, but they'd gotten in the way. Mary snapped, "Are you an idiot? No human could defeat her resentment alone." Jack hurriedly stepped between them. Frustrated, Jason wandered the streets, confused by this world's rules. Suddenly, Emmy appeared, blaming him for ruining her performance. But when she noticed his injuries, her heart softened. She invited him home for dinner. Over the meal, he learned he'd crossed into a realm called the Otherworld, where humans were known as resentments, enemies of humanity. The barriers were their attack patterns. Emmy told him the only way back was through a Inyan master, guardians who piloted colossal mechs. Abe no Saimai led these protectors. As night fell, a figure danced gracefully on stage. Mesmerized, Jason approached. Emmy spotted him and asked, "Curious, have we really met before?" He recounted their encounter in the bamboo grove, promising to protect her this time. Tears welled in her eyes as she thanked him, assessing, "I won't forget again." The next day, after the performance ended, Kanpaka's men stormed toward Emmy, furious. Yesterday, her failed act had incurred Kanpaka's wrath. He demanded she apologize personally. Jason stepped forward, claiming he'd ruined the show, and he should be the one to atone. Before he finished speaking, a mage descended from the sky, pinning Jason effortlessly. The caster was Abe no Saimai himself. Approaching Emmy, he promised Jason would be treated fairly, but ordered her to comply with Kanpaka's demands. They departed in a flying carriage. Abe no Saimai studied Jason's information, his curiosity about the boy growing. But suddenly, a green-haired girl sensed an impending crisis, just 20 seconds away. Their vehicle fled the danger zone just in time, but Emmy wasn't so lucky. Trapped in the barrier, Jason panicked, grabbing nearby weapons and racing back. He slipped inside the closing barrier. Meanwhile, the mech and resentments were locked in battle. This foe was unprecedentedly powerful. The mech was ensnared by the enemy's 8 trigrams formation. Portals allowed the resentment to strike from all angles. In desperation, the mech leaped into the air, but the foe fired a burst of energy bullets. The impact sent the mech crashing to the ground, immobilized. The resentment began charging its ultimate attack. The mech tried to retreat, but civilians stood behind it. To protect them, it braced for the blow. The machine groaned, systems critically damaged. The Yuan Ren was about to deliver the final blow to destroy the mecha when a weapon suddenly interrupted the attack. The newcomer was none other than Jason, who had promised Amy to protect her. However, this minor assault proved utterly ineffective against the Yuan Ren. Observing from a distance, Abe no Saimai abruptly laughed at this moment. Jason felt his power surging uncontrollably, but the Yuan Ren seized the opportunity to grab him, casually tossing Jason to the ground and crushing him into pieces. Just as the Yuan Ren prepared to annihilate the area completely, a mysterious force erupted from Jason's remains. Before everyone's astonished eyes, Jason completed his transformation. With a single casual strike, he obliterated the Yuan Ren. But when Jason reverted his transformation, a strange formation materialized on the ground. It turned out the Yuan Ren's horns hadn't been completely destroyed, meaning it wasn't truly dead. Amy exploded right before Jason's eyes, while the weakened Yuan Ren pierced through Jason's body. Unwilling to accept this fate, Jason remained ignorant of the silent reset of time. When he awoke, he found himself back at the exact day he first time traveled,